Hello again, it's Ultimate Traders. I just did another video. Let me do another video. I think I'm going to write a post about this also. But I wanted to make sure because it's actually happened to a couple of the traders in our elite group at the Ultimate Traders. So you can find us Ultimate Traders on Reddit. So just because a stock price worked yesterday, for instance with Clove, doesn't mean today the stock price works. For instance, yesterday, let's say that momentum was driving Clove high. It was. And we put a entrance price because we already knew that the momentum was carrying it. And the volume meant that, hey, we had support if the stock went higher. So even if we bought at 715, sold it at 8, which is what I did, and then we decided to buy again at 825 because of momentum, and it did go to 925, does not mean today you should buy it again at 825. Because what happened today? All that positive momentum and all that support was no longer there. Now that's just one example. Another example is another stock that I've been trading pretty consistently. But just because the price worked yesterday or 2 days ago doesn't mean that today you should do the same price. Because every single day is different. Every day is different. You could have a red market. You could have a green market. You could have a worry on interest rates. You could have the whole sector down. Tech could be down. Computers, if you're doing computers, can be down. Retail can be down. So every day is different. I'm going to use another example because I just got home. I took a look at my list because I have at least 800 tickers on all my lists. And on Monday, I'm going to add Rite Aid to my list, to my plays list. Because what happens is Rite Aid is back to a trading level. But let's say last week you bought Rite Aid at 23 or 24, which was fine. But for me, no. Because Rite Aid already said that the earnings weren't going to be good. I actually had someone at Ultimate Traders wrote a post about Rite Aid and kept telling me Rite Aid is going to be great. And I believe over time Rite Aid is going to be fine. But in the near term, no. Rite Aid, I think this past week went to like 23 or 24. And the trader, and he's sincere. He is genuine. There's no reason. He just believed it was going to be higher. But for me, and I was telling him in the private messages that for me, hey, if Rite Aid goes up, great. You can't make every single trade. But for me, near term, I see Rite Aid down. So for him, what he was trying to say, because he told me to make it a play or highlight it or make a post about Rite Aid saying how Rite Aid is great, whatever the case is, I do believe in Rite Aid. I trade Rite Aid all the time. But if last week you bought Rite Aid at 21, it went up to 23, 24, it worked. Just because you bought it at 21 last week does not mean you should buy it at 21 now. Right now it's like 19 and change, and it's back to a trading level where if it goes to 19, I can tell my guys, hey, you know what? It's safe to buy Rite Aid. Because when Rite Aid was 21, 22, 23 this week, I think it went to 24, something like that. No. Not safe. So don't assume that yesterday in the morning you bought a stock A at 10, you sold it at 10.50. Hey, the next day, let me put 10 again and it's going to go to 10.50. No. It can go to 9.50. And when you try to buy on dip at $10 and you said to yourself, you know what? Hey, why not? Yesterday I bought it at 10. I sold it at 10.50. And you just make that assumption, which I'm going to tell you, at least 95% of traders do that. So if the trade worked yesterday, not me, but I'm saying 95% of traders do that. That is a definite mistake. Don't do that. Don't be like, hey, yesterday I bought it at 10. I sold it at 10.50. So today, when it hits 10, blindly put in your limit order to buy at 10, just thinking that, hey, nothing happened, the market, nothing is going on. I'm going to buy at 10 and I'm going to sell it at 10.50. What if the stock hits 8 now? You have to pay attention to what's going on. Don't assume because the trade worked yesterday that today I'm going to do the same trade. You're going to see what happened today. What changed? Was it momentum that brought it from 10 to 1050? And then you sold at 1050? Was it momentum? You know what? Perfect example. I'm going to go back to Clove again, just like I was just saying a few minutes ago. It worked in Clove because yesterday Clove was hot. Clove was, you could do no wrong with that volume. You could buy it. I sold at 8. I didn't touch it again. But someone that's becoming my good friend decided to buy it at I think 850, 875, 990. But he's, you know, he's in front of the computer so he can see the level 2s and the charts. I can't. So those trades work. Now he even asked me almost at 4 p.m. Do you think it's a good idea to hold Clove overnight? No. Now a lot of times when the volume is hot like this, momentum can last another day. So I can't say always it doesn't work. But no. You know what? With me, I make money on every trade over and over. I don't need stocks to moon. Now, if the stock moons, great. But I don't need my stock to moon. The chances of your stock mooning is very, very small. You know, it's way easier to hit singles over and over and over again than hit a home run. You can hit 50, 100, some baseball players that become Hall of Famers hit 50 singles before they hit a home run. So what does that mean? You don't have to hit a home run all the time. So that Clove was a perfect example. Just because it worked yesterday absolutely does not mean it's going to work today. And also in the morning, another trader from overseas that just assumed that you can buy a stock because the same thing. The trade worked yesterday. No. Just because the trade worked yesterday does not mean it'll work today. I'm going to have another example for you. Like Jinko Solar reported earnings today. I actually wanted to buy on a super crash. I was hoping symbol JKS. I was hoping it was going to hit 33. I even highlighted as a play, like, hey, we're going to play this. It's going to crash. We're going to buy it only on the crash and make like $1. Quickly bouncing it off the crash. Unfortunately, the low of JKS was like $34.50. It went up to $38 right away. So if anyone would have bought it off the crash, that trade worked then. It does not mean it's going to work on Monday. That trade worked then. Unfortunately, I bid way too low because it's an auction. I bid it, I think $33.50 was my bid. I was trying to buy some shares of JKS and I didn't buy it. But if another trader in my group decided to bid 35, they got in. And then it went up to over $38 as if the earnings report wasn't bad. The earnings report was bad. Wasn't terrible, but was bad. So the whole point of this video was just because you did a trade yesterday, or even if you did a trade earlier on today, by the afternoon, it may not work. Now, if you did a trade at 2 p.m., you got out of the stock, and 2:15, okay, that trade will probably work again because you probably traded for like 10 cents or 25 cents. That trade will probably work again. But if you mean from the morning to the afternoon, completely different. Especially if it's 3:45. Like, I don't like to get new positions at 3:45. I like to close. Occasionally I get something, but I don't like to. So once again, the point of this video was don't assume that if you bought and sold the stock at a certain price, that price is going to work on the very next day. Do not. There are a lot of factors when you buy a stock. Now, if you're swing trading, maybe it doesn't matter as much. But if you're day trading, you're hoping to make greens on all day long on 4 or 5 trades. Don't assume the next day the same exact trade is going to work. Do not assume that. Okay, so that was the point of this video. Nathan from Queens, Ultimate Trader. You can check us out at Ultimate Traders on Reddit. All right, bye-bye.